Hey, sports fans, welcome to Sports Unfolded NBA postseason show 2024. We are into the conference finals. I am your host, Eric, the big dog in the house. Kenny, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I got to ask you a question.
Sure.
I want you to raise your hand if you had any of the Pacers, Dallas Mavericks, or Minnesota as the top three of the last four teams.
I cannot
Yeah,
raise my hand. I
yeah,
can't say that
yeah,
Minnesota was
yeah,
maybe the only one.
yeah. Me neither.
Yeah.
I can't raise my hand.
Yeah.
Although
Maybe the
I
T
knew
Wolves,
Denver wasn't going
the
to
other one.
repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
that was
yeah,
an interesting
yeah.
game, and we'll discuss some of that. We're
Yeah.
going to start in the West, Kenny. So
All right.
let's talk a little bit about this Western Conference Finals, kind of how they got there. So the Dallas Mavericks versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves actually won the regular season 3-1. Again, how both these teams got here: Dallas defeating OKC, the Thunder in six. Minnesota last night being down by 20 in the third quarter, coming back, beating the defending champions. What about both of these teams that do you feel is going to make this series interesting?
Oh, I think I tell you right back, it's gonna go 7 games. I tell you right back. But it all depends on whose bench is going to be better. It comes down to whose bench is going to be better and which superstar is going to have consistency in all 7 games.
Yeah, so right, the big stars obviously Luka Doncic for Dallas, Kyrie Irving, Minnesota with Anthony Edwards. Again, the
Hmm.
size there, the big cat, Carl Anthony Towns, what he was able to do
Yep.
against Jokic last night, and then Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. Which team in your mind, honestly, from a defensive standpoint, does this not favor Minnesota?
Yeah, definitely. It favors Minnesota. I think their bigs are much better, but Gobert is a defensive liability. But how big is Nas Reed? Came up big in the fourth quarter. How big is he hitting the three, going to the basket, getting the rebounds? So if they were smart, they would go with Nas Reed instead of Rudy Gobert. Let him come off the bench. But that's just me.
Wow, that's an interesting take on that. Which star is going to be more vital in their series for their team to advance, Luka Doncic or Anthony Edwards?
We know what Luca can do. We know what Luca Magic can do. It's going to be Anthony Edwards. Can he be consistent? Can he lead this team? I mean, that sixth game, he was terrible. He was terrible. He wasn't shooting the ball. He wasn't going to the basket. That seventh game, first and second quarter, he wasn't doing that. Locker room, they told him to be aggressive, and he just started being aggressive on defense, getting a couple of steals, easy dunks. And that opens the whole floor to let them run, and that's what they did.
Kyrie Irving, heart of a champion, has won a championship title.
Mm,
Does that give
mm.
Dallas an advantage based on the fact that nobody on Minnesota really has that experience?
Yeah, yeah, he's been there before. Uh, him and Luca at the same time during these playoffs has played 428 total minutes, and while they're both on the floor, and when they're both on the floor, they have been productive. They have been productive. So if they can play together, be consistent, like I said, which superstar is going to be consistent? Which superstar is going to be aggressive? We know what Luca can do. Anthony Edwards, let's
I,
see what he can do. Let's see what he can be consistent.
this is a tough series to read, and for the reasons you're saying, because you know the stars. in what they can do. What about the role players? Which team needs their role players to be more effective in this series for them to be successful?
Oh, mostly, but Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks. If Luke Lively, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gifford can play the way they've been playing, the Mavs have the advantage. The Mavs have the advantage. They have been so aggressive. They have been good in rebounding. They rebound the ball 76% in playoff games. So that is just tremendous. They rebound, they block shots, they run after every ball. They have been the key to that bench right there.
So Kenny, got to go out on a limb at some
Yeah.
point here and kind of make a
Oh,
decision. So again,
oh.
Minnesota won the regular season 3-1.
Mm,
It's best of 7.
hmm
Who wins and why? So I don't want to know just who wins, Kenny, but why do they win? Is it Luka Magic? Is it Kyrie goes off? Is it Anthony Edwards plays out of his mind? Cat goes for 40 and 10 every night. What is it? What is going to be when we sit back and we talk about the finals and that team's in? We're going to say this was the guy.
Mm. I'm gonna have to go Dallas in 7 games
Oof.
because Luca just does some unbelievable stuff. I say he gets at least 4 triple doubles,
Wow.
and that's hard to do in the
4
playoffs.
in this series.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what? I tend to agree with you. And I'm going to say why. Because I feel like
Mhm.
Anthony Edwards showed signs in game 6 and 7 that he's just not there yet.
Mm.
He's close. He's close to
Yeah.
kicking in the door and becoming, the next big superstar. I think Luka knows this is his opportunity right now. And I think he's going to play extremely hard and aggressive in this series because it's not easy to get there, Kenny. We know, we've seen it, right? The
Yeah.
Boston Celtics, as great as they are, 6 out of the last 8, they've only been to one final.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You get to the conference finals doesn't necessarily mean you get back again.
Yeah.
And I think
exactly.
Luka knows like his time is now. Like this is his time. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be a Luka series. I think he takes over. And honestly, Dallas wins. I think it goes 7, though. I agree. I think this is going to be a tough series. I don't think this is a cakewalk for either squad. But it's a fun series. I'm glad this is the series because I would have rather seen this than Denver.
Me too.
Right? I kind of like where this is headed. So, Western Conference, you got Dallas, my friend. All right, let's talk about this Eastern Conference. So, Eastern Conference, you got the Indiana Pacers versus the Boston Celtics. Boston won the regular season 3-2, but Indiana beat Boston in the in-season tournament to knock Boston out from going to the finals. Does that help Indiana with their mentality, understanding that we know the in-season tournament's not technically the playoffs? But they figured a way to beat a team that they obviously weren't as good as. The Celtics were much more superior. Does that kind of give them a psyche to say, hey, look, we could go in and beat this team?
You know what? Not necessarily. I mean, the Celtics have had a cakewalk through the playoffs so far. Okay. With Jimmy Butler missing games, Donovan missing games. And we were lucky that KP Porzingis has rested those that far. So this is where we need Porzingis. If we can win the first 2 games, then we can get him back. it's easy cruising because that that Indiana bench with Miles Turner, okay, all right, that Indiana bench is no joke.
They
No joke.
listen, what they did with New York, and I will say this: Turner scares me, right? Outside the
Yeah,
size, shot blocking ability, all those things. You know
yes.
what? Who really scares me? And you're gonna laugh at me.
TJ,
Aaron Neesmith.
can you say ex
But I'm gonna
Celtic?
tell you why, right? Ex Celtic, still a little bitter about that move, right? They kind of
Yep.
gave up on him. And you saw him in that Knicks series, like listen, yesterday when they played historical shooting, highest shooting percentage in NBA history in a playoff game. So I don't
70,
think that happens again. But
76%.
right, ridiculous. But Neesmith just looks aggressive. He can shoot the ball. He looks like he's grown into a role. He scares me. And as crazy as it sounds, I feel like he may be a factor in this series because there's that little motivation for him to say, all right, you gave up on me. Let me show you what I can do.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Him and TJ. Him and TJ. TJ is just a pest. I,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how
McConnell?
Holiday how I, I don't know how Holiday is going to deal with him or Derek's going to deal with him, but
White.
he is
Yeah.
just a pest. Oh, he's just a pest. So hopefully the backup point guards, double P. Hopefully he
Yo,
comes
boy.
through. Hopefully he can be a pest too. Hopefully.
So, again, I'm going to ask you some similar questions, Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Which star, Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, has to come up big for their team to win? Which star has to, if their team's going to win, it's because one of these two stars takes over. Which one will it be?
Which one? Before I pick the one, I just want you to know that the last time they met, uh, Tatum and Brown shot 59.3%.
Against
So,
Ron seems
yeah,
to think
against
this
Tatum.
will be an
Yeah.
easy series. And he did your double P there. He went your double P, my friend.
uh, I think I
And I'm
this is
not
the
saying this
time.
is picking the winner. I'm just saying for their team to remain in it, which star has to be more effective?
This is where Jason Tatum has to shine. I I, I got him in 5. I got the Celtics in
Oh, you're
5.
already picking the winner? We're
Yeah,
not
I'm
there
picking
yet.
her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
That's all right.
Jason Tatum has to shine. This is where, like you said, the last show, you're sick and tired of Jason Tatum dishing it, not taking the big shots. This is where he needs to take the big shots. This is where he needs to get to the basket. Don't defer. Take over the game. Once you take over the game, then we got him. Then they start to panic.
Is
Then they
Jason
double
Tatum
team.
the enforcer though? Is he? Can he be? Do you think he's has it in him?
Yes, he has it in him. He has it in him. I I hate to say this. I think it's the coaching. Because Udoka used to get in his face and say, "What's going on? What is the problem? Take it to the hole. Take over the game." And now we got Coach Joe. Coach Joe was like, "Okay, all right, no problem. They're double teaming you. Okay." I'm not
Shoot a
saying
three.
Coach Joe's. Yeah,
Shoot a
yeah,
three.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, shoot 3. Yeah, you're right. I'm not saying Coach Joe is not doing a good job. He's doing a great job. But Tatum is the person who you got to get in his face. You got to say, "Yo, what's going on? Take over the game." That first season and second season with Udoka, he was a stone cold killer. Now, I don't know, but I got him go.
Jason Tatum, I agree. I don't know. I don't know if it's in him. And I think we keep talking about this same thing over and over again. I think the Kristaps Porzingis injury is more important to them. Do they get him back for game 3? Because again, I think they're going to need his size, what he does to bring Turner out of the lane. Now that opens up for Brown, Tatum to drive.
Yep.
This league, though, drives me crazy, Ken. And I was watching one of the games like yesterday where I think it was Halliburton. Clear layup. Like it was, I mean, there was nobody in front of him and kicks it back out for a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand what this league's doing anymore. That layups, like, what are we doing? Just lay it up. Get the 2 points. Nope. I'm going to throw a more difficult shot out. I don't know. What about Halliburton though? So we just in the previous series we just talked about Anthony Edwards taking that leap. We saw what Halliburton, when healthy, what he meant to the Pacers in that run, and then even in the in-season tournament, how he kind of took over. And we saw it again yesterday, right? In that Knicks game where all of a sudden the kid's just throwing up threes, and there's some rainbows, man. Those things were like, but he's hitting them. Can he affect this series? Can he take over, Kenny, and be that impact player? Do you think Boston's defense is strong enough to kind of keep him at bay?
Yeah, our defense is strong enough. Just keep him in front of us and just pester him. I mean, he's good. You know, I think he lacks getting to the basket because he can get to the basket anytime he wants to. He can get fouled every time he gets to the basket, but he just doesn't do that. I don't know why, but he's an all right shooter. But yeah, we can contain him. He's not the one I'm really worried about.
Last question before, I mean, we talked about your winner already, but we'll talk about it again.
All right.
2 highest scoring offensive teams in the playoffs. Yeah. Boston number 1, Indiana number 2. Which team is it more important to have a defensive presence for them to win? We both know they can score. Both teams can score. They can put up 120, 20, 25 points. Yeah. Which team needs to enforce themselves defensively? We know Turner, one of the top blockers in the game, right? We know Boston in their defense with Derek White and some of them guys. Which team has to be stronger defensively?
Indiana. They have to come out and, you know, knock the Celtics in the teeth. But yeah, they need to come out. If they lack defense, the Celtics got it.
So you think if it's a run and gun type of scenario, it favors Boston?
Yeah.
Indiana has to slow it down. And I think I heard that because then you start giving Jason Tatum 25 to 30 shots, Jaylen Brown 25 to 30 shots. Those guys eventually get hot. They're going to hit some. Exactly. And I think that's where it gets a little more difficult. Ron's picking Boston versus Dallas. You already said that you have Boston and you picked Dallas as well.
Yep.
So you got Boston in 5.
Boston in 5. And that's with Miles Turner shooting 45% from 3.
I want to give Boston the benefit of the doubt, but I want to see what they do in game 2. Before, because they seem to always give up a game and it's game 2 and it's at home. And I feel like that could be detrimental to this team. They need to win both games at home.
Yeah.
I also think that it doesn't favor them that they've sat for about a week.
No.
Because you always see that team that just comes off of, I mean, it's 2 days later. Indiana still got those juices flowing and in game versus a practice. I'm going to go Boston. I'm going to go Boston in 6.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay.
I think Indiana can score enough points twice to really make it difficult.
In the Garden? I don't think they. I don't think they.
I don't. Boston doesn't play well in the Garden. Celtics are not a good home team in the playoffs.
At home, yeah, I know.
At
Regular
home,
season, yeah.
yeah, right. So again, I don't know how confident I am that I'm going to trust them guys in what they're doing at home.
That's deep. That's deep.
So
That's deep.
I don't know. I agree with you. I think Boston wins this series. I just think it's not going to be as easy as everybody seems to think it is. And it's just, listen, Indiana got here for a reason. That was a very tough test in New York. I know New York and their injuries, but the Mecca, the basketball, the history in New York. And I don't know, for them to get past that in the way they did it, it wasn't even Austin chiming in too. Ron's got Boston in 5, Dallas in 7.
Wow.
The Knicks got cheated. Austin believes. One
injuries,
game.
Man.
One
Injuries,
game.
Injuries.
Calm down there. Calm down.
Injuries. Yeah.
But injuries, right? Like, you think about how, and then for Brunson to get hurt in that game yesterday too, it was just like, wow. But you're still being in New York, game 5, the way Indiana got blown out, to come back game 7 with even more pressure and play as well as they did scares me. You shoot 76%, Kenny.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
Yeah.
Your confidence level is very high. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you got Dallas versus Boston. We will obviously do a show for the finals. And then we'll talk about it. So we're not going to discuss who wins the whole thing because we don't know what happened yet. Let's stay tuned for that. But we're going to have some fun, Kenny, because we always try to end the show on a little bit of fun with the did you know, Kenny? Look at the little Kenny over there giving a peace sign. So, all right, did you know, Kenny? And I wanted to kind of keep it based on some of the playoff teams. So the 3 questions I have, and I know we got some live audience members right now. So if you guys want to chime in with your guesses as well. Oh, wow, Austin, Wolves, Celtics. It's not going Luka Magic. Not going Luka Magic. Wolves, Celtics. All right. Austin. So do you know, Kenny? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So in 2011, the Dallas Mavericks won their last championship. Who led their team in assists during the playoffs that year?
Oh, Jason Kidd.
You believe it was Jason Kidd?
Yeah.
Let's see if you are correct, sir. It was Jason Kidd. You are correct, sir. Jason Kidd with 153 assists in that series. I mean, and now think about it. He's coaching them. Oh, Austin had got it.
Yep.
Jason Kidd and the Kidster. Ryan called it the Kidster. Too easy. Too easy. He said, I gave it to you too easy. All right.
So can I do a round real quick?
Yeah.
So does that mean that Joker would be Dirk? When they gave Dirk the MVP, and then he lost in the playoffs.
Yeah, see,
he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I don't want it. Keep it. I don't want to keep it.
All right, let's go to question number 2. Larry Bird led the Indiana Pacers to the NBA Finals as the head coach. In 2000, he stepped away. Who replaced Larry Bird as the head coach of the Indiana Pacers?
Oh. 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 Huh.
So Larry Bird coached the team to the finals and then stepped down.
Yep.
Who replaced Larry Bird as the head coach of the Indiana Pacers the next season?
Oh man, huh?
Now that's not so easy. That's one, Ron.
Easy. Oh my gosh. Larry Bird. Was Richie on that team? I think Richie was on that team.
I don't think it was Gary Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield, no.
I mean, if he's hitting home runs, maybe. Gary Sheffield.
Sheffield. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Rick Carlisle.
Hodge.
Because
I believe it's Rick Carlisle.
No, I don't believe it's Rick Carlisle.
Okay.
Shoot.
Hodge. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's Hodge.
I don't know. I think they're hurting you more than helping you right now.
Yeah, right. I don't think. How long has Rick Carlisle been? It has to be.
Need a guess here, Kenny. What do you got?
Rick Carlisle, but I don't think it's Rick Carlisle.
Oh, Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle.
No, all right, Rick Carlisle. So okay. Larry Bird stepped down, and the next head coach of the Indiana Pacers was Isiah Thomas.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Isiah Thomas came in for 3 years. I think playoff record was like 5-10. Not very good. Isiah Thomas.
We don't talk about it. Yeah, we don't talk about Isiah.
So we are.
Was that?
Oh damn! Yes, Ron. Oh damn! That was it's. Forgot about Isiah coaching them.
Yeah, we forgot about Isiah. Well, he ruined Nick, so that's why.
He did, my friend. All right, last one. Let's see if these boys will help you on this one.
Him and Dolan.
The very first time the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers faced each other was 1991 in the playoffs.
Yep.
Who led their team in Game 5? Both squads, they scored 32 points each. So who were the two players from each team scored 32 points? Boston won that game, by the way, in overtime. So who was the leading scorer for the Boston 91. Celtics? 91.
91. 91. Jesus.
Wow. Ron's got Reggie Miller and Walker.
Antoine Walker? No.
Definitely not Antoine. Antoine wasn't around then.
No.
Antoine Walker.
Was that Reggie's?
Tony Miller, Anthony.
Was that Reggie's rookie year?
And then
91.
Austin's got Reggie Miller. Don't 91. Know about the Celtics.
No, it wasn't Reggie. Was that Reggie's rookie year?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know, Ken.
Something tells me it's Chuck Person. 91, though. 91. I'm trying to think of 91.
So you got a Pacer. Who would be for the Boston Celtics? 32 points.
91.
32 points each. Both players.
Larry.
So you're going Larry Bird and Chuck Person?
Yeah.
All right, let's
91. Why
see.
can't I
And
think
we
about
got Antoine,
what?
Reggie. We got a couple Reggies.
What?
Let's
Why
see.
can't
Let's see if you are correct, Kenny. You
What?
are,
Why
sir.
can't I think
Larry
of 91?
Bird and Chuck Person
I knew I
scored
was thinking
32
91.
points each in 1991, Game 5. The Boston Celtics came out victorious. Very good, Kenny. Chuck Person pulled that out of nowhere, huh?
Because I knew it. I'm like, yo, it had to be 91. It had to be Chuck Person because I think that was Reggie's rookie year. Pretty sure that was his rookie year, or the next year was his rookie year.
Nice, Kenny. Congrats. That was a very good one. You did pretty good on that one. All right, Kenny. I want to thank you for your basketball insight tonight. Again, a lot. I am not putting that down. But I will say this. Again, the conference final. Yeah, we're definitely not putting that up.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Kenny, for all your basketball insight tonight. Conference finals to the NBA start tomorrow in Boston. We will talk about the NBA finals once these two series end. Looking forward to that as well. Again, you can check us out at Sports Unfolded. Our tick has been running on all our social media platforms. We are live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting, where we cover all of the top sports stories going on in the world today. My main man, Ron, joins me for that every Friday. Kenny, you're amazing with your basketball insight and your basketball rankings. We appreciate all you do for Sports Unfolded. We continue to grow. All we ever ask for every single show is to get peace on earth.